Time to take it inside for the Jacksonville Jaguars this afternoon at practice. Not the worst idea with temperatures what they were and a team doing everything it can to be healthy on September 8th. Everyone needs to remember that is the day that matters. 1 full month from now, the Jaguars will host the Kansas City Chiefs. That game counts. Right now, we're still in the preseason with 1 game down, 3 to go. The Philadelphia Eagles coming to town on Thursday night. As fun as the Foles versus Philly discussions will be, there are far more pressing matters at hand when it comes to evaluating this team. One big one, depth. How concerned should this team be after a 29-0 shellacking in Baltimore that likely exposed backups and backups? Do fans expect their team to amass 112 yards over the course of a game? Well, no, but there were not a lot of positives to pull from the preseason opener. It's a tough balance for Coach Marrone, who has his eyes set on the regular season.
I'm doing everything I possibly can, to make sure that our players are healthy and getting ready for the season. So it's a day-by-day thing. I mean, the next thing would be just to not even go out, just kind of walk through. I mean, you guys have seen it. I've made a ton of changes, not just little ones. I made a ton. And, it's still the same issue.
More notes from Coach's press conference. Jalen Ramsey, excused from practice for personal reasons, is expected to return on Sunday. As for that left tackle spot, Wells, Ogbuehi, Wester, all fighting for the job. Coach saying, quote, "I'm not going to leave that spot open," which is good for Nick Foles. And speaking of the O-line, keep an eye on the right guard battle. Marrone praising Will Richardson's efforts in Thursday night's preseason opener. During Saturday's press conference, Marrone rattled off over a dozen names of players that are missing time due to injury. Players like Andrew Norwell, Jawan Taylor, every single tight end, Raquel Armstead. That's the reason changes are being made to the practice formats. Brent Martineau with more on Marrone's mindset after Saturday's practice.
On Saturday here at team headquarters, Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Marrone a bit dejected when speaking to the media about the injury situation of his team. Not necessarily a debacle in the first preseason game against Baltimore, but the idea that so many guys are nicked up and missing some time and maybe won't be able to play in the preseason, and the fact that he thinks it's unrealistic Cam Robinson, the left tackle, and wide receiver Marquise Lee will be available in the season opener against Kansas City.
I don't know if they're going to be ready, for the season. So, they're working hard. The trainers are working hard. Everybody's working hard for, but we just can't get them over the hump. So we've got to go and start preparing to play without them.
There's been a lot of conversation how this camp has been less demanding than the previous 2 camps under head coach Doug Marrone. It's not the way he wants it to be, but it's the way he feels it needs to be to get everyone healthy for the season.
Is it something that we'd like to do myself personally? Absolutely not. That's not had been my background. I said it afterwards. I've changed, obviously the philosophy of what I've had in the preseason. And I've had to do it. It's something that, it was kind of forced, with the injuries and everything that happened.
More than 30 players did not play on Thursday night against the Baltimore Ravens. What will the Jaguars and Coach Doug Marrone do this Thursday against the Philadelphia Eagles? There's a feeling here at team headquarters that a lot of the starters will sit once again, all with the idea of being healthy for the regular season. With the Jags, I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jags.
As Brent mentioned, we don't know who will play and how long they will play in preseason game number 2, but we do know that Action News Jax has you covered on Thursday. We'll have pregame at 6:30 p.m. on Fox 30 and the game against Philadelphia kicking off just after 7. Your official Jaguars station's the place to be on game day and every day forever. We take a look at the bank, the one in Jacksonville, not the one in Baltimore, as the team looks to move on from that preseason opener. Why move on? Well, it wasn't pretty, folks. No explosive plays, couple turnovers, including the pick 6, and literally 1 play on the Ravens side of midfield. Guess what happened to that one? It was a loss of 2. For Gardner Minshew, it was a first taste of the NFL, and despite what we saw from the outside, the rookie's still managing to pull some positives from Thursday's performance.
There's things we did good. There's good routes that were ran. There's good runs that were had. Good balls that were thrown. So we got stuff we can build on, absolutely. We just came out and we didn't execute as well as we should have.
new champion of the Sunshine and Rainbows Club there. All right, time for some crazy talk, and folks, it involves the boat. Let's get weird on ESPN 690.
I'm of the belief that if you lose your starting quarterback, you're in trouble, okay? In the NFL.
Team. Yeah, any team.
Most teams.
Yeah.
Most teams. I think Tannehill has a chance to help Tennessee. Obviously, Foles did what he did in Philadelphia, but that is such an outlier. The Jaguars have absolutely taken that tack to say if we lose Nick Foles, we're probably in trouble because they have not done anything from a veteran standpoint. I'm going to say something crazy right now.
Hit me with it.
But should they have kept Bortles on the roster? They're paying him anyway.
Yeah. You know, I mean,
I'm not
well,
advocating.
Let's be
I'm asking.
I know you're not advocating.
I'm just saying. I mean, you almost had to cut ties and let him go.
It's just a little too awkward if you're to keep him on the team, bro.
But aren't you a better football team with Blake Bortles as the backup quarterback?
I mean, I felt like I was watching Blake Bortles a little bit last night. You know, so let's be honest. It couldn't be any worse than last night. Now, and yeah, I get it. You have all the two receivers. You have a lot of backup linemen, but from Minshew's perspective, and I'm not panicking yet, Brent. All right, I'm really not. If he doesn't perform against the Eagles, then yeah, I'm starting to panic a little bit. So ask me that question after the Philadelphia game, and depending how Gardner Minshew does, or Alex Magoo, or whoever it is, ask me that question then, and then I'll tell you if Blake Bortles should be on the team or not.
He shouldn't. I'll just answer that for you now. We started ESPN 690 in January, so this is kind of the first taste of what you can expect during football season. Friday show with a Monday feel to it, breaking down the game, hearing from the players. You can listen and watch every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. on every platform that exists: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, even Mixer. We did Mixer because Ninja went there, so we did too. Mixer. It's a thing. Also, try calling in. ** 690 is the number. Let your voice be heard.
There's electricity in the air as Jaguar fans have something to cheer about. Season 2019 is here. Jags preseason football. Eagles at Jaguars, Thursday night at 7 on Fox 30.